Hey, welcome back to Jazz Time. JazzTime.com is an online store that buys, sells, and trades authentic luxury watches. We make these videos so you can easily choose the best watch for yourself in the comfort of your own home. We offer the lowest prices anywhere online, and if you'd like to know the price, simply click on the links in the description below. We greatly appreciate it if you purchase your next watch from us at JazzTime.com. Today we'll be talking about a new release from Rolex this year, 2021. It is the Rolex Sky-Dweller, still 42mm. This one on a bright black dial, but this one is a yellow Rolls-Royce, one of 3 new yellow Rolls-Royce Sky-Dwellers, because it is now offered on a Jubilee bracelet. Reference number 326933. We'll be going over the case, the dial, the bezel, the crown functions as well, the movement, as well as the bracelet. And I'll be giving my thoughts on all of these throughout the video and what makes this an interesting and very good contender for your next potential watch. All right, so looking at the case, 42mm from finger to thumb. That's the diameter of this case. It is the monoblock middle case with the screw down case back and winding crown to ensure water resistance down to 100 meters or 330 feet. This isn't really made for swimming or diving, not like a Submariner or a deep sea, because when you're wearing this, it's made for people who are flying, people who dwell in the sky. Basically, you got to fly out for work multiple times a month, and so you need to know, what time it is for all your different workplaces and even at home. That's what the sort of GMT sub dial allows for. More on that when we get there. All right, now taking a look at this case construction, we have a fully stainless steel case, high polish on every single surface on the outside at least. Underneath, we have that brush finishing that you come to expect from Rolex. Solid case back, so it protects the movement inside. We have a, there we go, 18 karat yellow gold winding crown with the twin lock double waterproofness system, so you know that certainly it will be keeping water out nicely. Okay, and looking at this bezel, we also have a matching yellow gold bezel, also a Rolls-Royce, which is Oyster's own proprietary blend of both yellow gold and oyster steel to make that really high polish, as well as the strength that is in it. And the strength is quite unique and very useful, because what this is it is a command bezel, meaning that you can turn the bezel, and the position of this bezel determines how to set the pardon me, how to set the aspects of this watch. More on that in a moment when we get to the crown functions. Now taking a look at this dial first, we have this sort of a matte black, bright black dial as they call it. All right, so we have the standard layout with index markers with chroma light. So if we turn off the lights here, we can actually see that it glows quite brightly. If I can get my focusing point correct, there we go. Nice and bright. It's clipping my highlights on the screen. So incredibly bright, as you can see. And if you'll note that the minute and hour hands are actually only partially loomed, and that's because of the subdial, because the subdial actually shows up through this skeletonized portions where it matters at the 12 o'clock position of that subdial. Okay, otherwise all of the other index markers are very bright and have that slightly blue tint to that luminescence that is otherwise kind of greenish, but very, very nice, tasteful presentation here from Rolex. Now, looking at this dial, we have underneath this sapphire crystal with a Cyclops lens to magnify the date. We have what is again the index marker system, and beyond that we have a system with little apertures beyond those, and those actually denote the months. So the red marker, as you can see at the 12 o'clock position, denotes December, whereas 1 denotes January, 2 denotes February, and so forth. So the Sky-Dweller also has an annual calendar built into it, known as Saros. Now, taking a look at the functions of this watch, okay, if you have the bezel turned all the way to the right, turned clockwise as far as it'll go, this is sort of a locked position. So all you can do at this position is to simply unwind the crown to the first position. This allows you to wind the watch. So if you've set this down for maybe more than 3 or 4 days, you can then just wind the watch. 20 to 30 full winds is all you need to get to your full power reserve and get the seconds hand started up again. All right, if you pull out the crown to the last position, second position, nothing will happen. All right. So let's start at the first command bezel position. If you rotate it all the way counterclockwise, you can then adjust the minute hand. And also note that the seconds hand has also stopped, so you can actually set the seconds hand and time precisely. But first you'll want to set the GMT dial, the subdial, and set it to whichever time you would like to set for your home time, all right? And so rotating this allows you to have up to a 24-hour subdial representation there, with the red triangle pointing to the specific hour, right? So just set it to whatever hour you happen to be at, and then set your minute, all right? Then rotate the bezel clockwise once to then set your hour. You can set your hour depending on your local time, all right? And if you can see how the hour hand is set up with that skeletonized portion, you can still see that large GMT subdial still showing up where it matters, all right? So after you've done that, you can then rotate the command bezel one more time, and this allows you to quick set the date, and by extension, the month. So if you have, let's go to an interesting little exception here, okay? So you know that February, as filled in that aperture, does not have 30 days, or much less even 31 days, but it is potentially possible to physically and manually set it to the 31st of February. Now, or actually, no, that's a bad example. Let's go to April. April does not have 31 days in its month, at least last I checked, but you can still physically set it to the 31st of April, which is possible. However, the 31st of April does not exist. That's not a thing. So what happens if you physically set it? Well, that's obviously going to be wrong, but this has an annual calendar inside it, and it just knows which months have how many days, the only exception being February. All right, so let's say you're on the 29th of April. You can set your hour hand forward. It will automatically switch over to the 30th. And then what happens when we get to the end of the 30th? Well, manually setting it, you can go to the 31st, but that's obviously not correct. But if you do so by moving the hour hand, it goes to the 1st of May. And that is how the annual calendar inside works. It's incredibly intelligent, and it just knows which months always have a fixed number of days. The only time you'll actually ever have to quick set the date is during the month of February during leap years, because, well, it doesn't keep track of leap years, and to do so would actually introduce another complication to keep track of years, all right? So that being said, it's an incredibly intelligent annual calendar system built into this watch, and I love this watch for that purpose, all right? Okay, now, basically what makes all of this work, it is the in-house caliber 9001. No updates to the movement this year, because honestly, if it's not broken, don't fix it. You don't need to fix it. It has the perpetual mechanical self-winding dual time zones with the annual calendar, all of which I have demonstrated, including the ±2 second per day time differential based on the superlative chronometer certification, also printed directly on the dial. Rolex guarantees this with every watch after casing. So it also has the center hour, minute, and seconds hands with the 24-hour display on this off-center large disc at the sort of center around the 6 o'clock position of the dial. It has the month display with the 12 apertures around the circumference of the dial with the stop seconds for precise time setting. Again, all things that I have just demonstrated. The oscillator on the inside is the standard paramagnetic blue parachrome hairspring with the high-performance Paraflex shock absorbers, meaning that you can take a few bumps, you can get close to magnets as you typically would on a daily basis, which most of us don't. But if you do get relatively close to magnets, maybe you just posted up a little drawing on your refrigerator with a magnet, it'll be keeping track of time just fine. The magnets will not be affecting the timekeeping ability of this watch. It also has the bidirectional self-winding rotor on the inside, so that simply just wind up the watch using the crown. Once you've gotten to the full power reserve, wear it on your wrist, and natural movements of your wrist will keep it wound up to the natural, up to the approximate maximum 72-hour power reserve. That's 3 whole days that you can just set this watch down, not do a single thing with it, and it'll still be keeping track of time that entire time, those entire 72 hours. So you can pick it back up on a Monday morning after setting it down on a Friday evening, and it'll be keeping track of time just fine. No need to wind the watch. You can just continue to wear it the rest of the week and it will still keep winding. All right, now take a look at this bracelet. We have the Jubilee 5-piece link across the bracelet, high polish down the center, gold links with the satin brush finishing on the outer edges of these, the outer links rather, the edges being a high polish as you would come to expect. We have a gentle taper down to the oyster folding clasp, also with that same pattern with the yellow gold going straight through. You can just simply lift the top to open it, to unhook it, and you have the Rolex stamped logo on the inside with a steel construction. While we're here, I can actually also demonstrate the Easy Link 5mm extension. So what this gives you is another Jubilee link. So if it's super hot and you have this sized nice and snug to your wrist, 90 degrees outside, you just drank an entire bowl of soup and pounded about 3 liters of water, well, your wrist is going to swell. So simply just reach underneath here, pull it out, and there you go. Another Jubilee link distance to just compensate for that increase in wrist size. Happens to everyone, and so Rolex have decided that, you know, that's a good feature to have because you still want to be able to wear your watch even when, you know, you have those biological changes happening, right? And while we're here also, I can try it on, give you my thoughts as to how it wears on the wrist. Now, I have a 7-inch wrist in circumference, 18 centimeters. So this watch is going to be really big because it is a 42mm watch, one of the largest watches, and this actually matches the size of the new Explorer this year as well, also 42mm. So, you know, you can see the video for that as well on this channel or on our website, where you can also purchase that as well. But talking about this watch here, again, huge dial, but you know, it's not that bad because I still can read those month and date apertures incredibly easily, especially with that 12-hour dial. Those just all sort of pop against this black dial. The only other dials available for this watch currently, at least with this configuration with the Jubilee bracelet, are the champagne colored and the white dials. So I prefer this black one specifically because the black really makes all the index markers, all of the dates and the time, as well as the hands, just really pop out very easily against that black backdrop. And it's just a no-nonsense, really easy to read watch, right? But the only issue for me is that it's a little big, but this is the only watch that has this sort of annual calendar in it. So you kind of have to live with that. So that being said, not much framing from the bracelet. I'm basically looking at nothing but case on my watch. Not that on my wrist, but not that that's an entirely bad thing. Again, different strokes for different folks. And it being a large case, we do have a little bit of overhang when it comes to the lugs here, so plenty of space underneath for me. If you have a larger wrist, well, you're not going to have as much of a problem. The integrated bracelet does have plenty of breathability, and it's extremely comfortable. So the Jubilee style bracelet does have that, you know, added sense of luxury, and it just feels great. Feels excellent to have on the wrist. It's just so soft and incredibly supple. There's nothing I can say bad about the Jubilee bracelet. It's just, it looks good and it feels good, right? And I'm actually glad that they put it on the Sky-Dweller. All right, so enough of what I think. What do you guys think about this watch? Let us know down in the comments below. Be sure to like this video as it helps us out. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the bell notification so you can be notified when we go live with another video like this one. And as always, if you'd like to purchase this watch or any other watch, new, discontinued, in production, or just completely brand new like this one, released just this year, just not even a month ago, let us know by going to jazztime.com. Links in the description below where you can purchase this watch. You can see pictures and even buy one for yourself. Take care. We'll see you in the next video.
If you want to find out more about the watch you just saw in the video, you can just click below on Show More to see the full description. Then you can check the link next to model as seen in video, click on it, and you will get to the proper page where you can see all the details. If you're watching on a mobile phone, you have to click on the arrow down on the right hand side below the video to see the full description. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. If you would like to share this video with your friends, you can use the share button below and share it on any platform you like. If you have questions, constructive feedback, want to tell us about some mistakes or misspeaks, just write a comment below. If you want to see more videos like this, you should subscribe to our channel and visit our channel page where you can find all the videos. And if you're interested in a specific watch brand, you can check out our playlists. If you want to check the price for a watch or want to buy one, remember at jazztime.com you always get a steep discount, so you should check the prices with us. If you want to know the price for a specific watch, just go to Google, type in JazzTime, plus the brand, model and the details you're interested in, and Google will find the right page for you. Thank you for watching.